what's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode here on Warriors Amongst Men. It's good to be back. Obviously I've been through some crazy ass shit in the last few months. Lots of things have changed. I'm now out here in Thailand. My YouTube videos got deleted and that was kind of sad. But at the same time I'm using it as a blessing in disguise, because now it gives me an opportunity to repost everything and get new exposure to my old content. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise, and either way that's how I choose to see it. And I always choose to be an alchemist with my situations and see that everything's happening for a reason and know that I'm guided along my divine life path. And I also just want to say welcome to everyone that's new to my channel, everyone that's subscribed since I've been away, and thank you so much to everyone that has supported me and watched my videos all up to this point. And I've got so many good friends here now in the comment section that you guys need to start talking to each other, make some connections. I like it, I like seeing that. But yeah, welcome back to Warriors Amongst Men. And today I've got a rather interesting topic for you. I want to talk about why empaths are so sensitive these days, and not these days, but just why we are so sensitive. And obviously it's because there's a whole wave of new souls that are coming up now that need to be sensitive. We need to be empaths so that we can put ourselves in other people's shoes and start thinking more holistically, right? More thinking about our brothers and sisters on this planet and making the world a better place, right? Obviously humans have sort of messed things up a little bit up to this point, so we need to obviously take a look in the mirror. And what I want to talk about is the sacredness of life and how life is a blessing. Sometimes things come our way and it's quite kind of scary. We don't know quite what to do. Just like when you first have an awakening to the psychopaths that are really in control behind the scenes. It's kind of scary when you sort of accept what's gone on, but you have to see what's gone on. You have to accept it in order to transmute it and overcome that situation. And you know, when I first found out that there was all this brainwashing going on, and you know, it's scary at first, but then it actually led me down a path of learning a lot about psychology. I've basically become a psychologist now. I know how my own mind works, which is something everyone should know, and that's why I make these videos, because learning about your own psychology will empower you. And when I started to learn about my own psychology, I started to realize that my environment was a massive factor on how I was actually viewing and perceiving the world, right? And I started to realize that these psychopaths, right, if you want to control someone and control the population, it's not hard. You just got to control their environments, right? And that's why they make it such a challenge for people to get out of the matrix. And they have basically set up the system to sort of just lock you in a little prison, and everyone gets to this feeling where they do feel like they're being imprisoned. And then we want to blame the government, we want to blame everyone else, and fair enough, it's okay. You can see that there has been manipulation of our genetics going on, but really this is a positive thing, because now you have learnt about your psychology, and if that didn't happen, then maybe you wouldn't have learnt about this. So we can't sit in victim mentality. But where I'm going with this is that it's not just, you know, the information you're watching and listening to which is forming your perception. It's also the foods you're eating, and you know what these Satanists are trying to do to humanity is they want to create a divide and conquer, right? So they invert everything. And one of the things they've inverted, which has a lot to do with empaths, is that they're trying to invert the masculine and feminine energy, right? We have polarity on this planet, and it has to be that way. Men and women complement each other. And I've got nothing against, you know, gay people, lesbians, or whatever. I don't care what you choose to do. And all of that is, you know, it's up to you, it's not a problem. I haven't got a problem with that, but I have got a problem with people obviously messing with the tap water and stuff like that to try and make men less masculine, more feminine, and women more masculine, obviously. But at the same time, obviously, when you find this out, you've got to remember that, okay, now I can start to heal myself, and I'll come into balance, and I will express my natural, authentic self. Whatever, I'm quite a feminine man really, but I do still have a lot of masculine energy in me also. I'm a bit feminine, and that comes from not having a father when I grew up. I grew up and listened to my mum a lot, so I had to sort of learn masculine energy. But what makes me bring this up on a deeper level isn't to make people think, oh, look at the government, they put all this shit in my tap water and all this. I don't want to think about just the negative things, because I see life on a much deeper level than this anyway. That's just the surface level, that's like the script in the Matrix. But really, we live in a holographic reality and everything is a reflection from within. So it's always trying to teach us something, and when we learn that lesson, we grow, and when we empower ourselves from the lesson, that's when our experience of life starts to change. And it's basically Murphy's Law. They're always trying to pressure you into growing, right? That's how diamonds are formed, through immense pressure. So you got to ask the question, why is it at this time, in this point in history, when shit's going down, when shit is getting real, when humanity really has to wake up and take back charge of this planet and take charge of everything, just start to take charge of things, take responsibility for ourselves and others, why is it that the Satanists have amped up their mind control, right? And you have to always remember that whenever their agenda speeds up, that means that's because the awakening is speeding up, and we are actually onto something, like what they done with my YouTube channel when they deleted my videos. Is it because I've actually got something to say? You tell me. So you got to ask the question, why are the distractions getting worse and worse? Why is it getting harder and harder for people to take their power back? And why is the manipulation getting stronger and stronger, especially when it comes to masculine and feminine energy? They're messing up the energies to create an imbalance between people, but also within yourself. So on a macrocosm level, on a big scale, this is clearly because the enemy of life knows what the souls are capable of that are coming onto this planet right now, coming into this planet. What we have to remember is that if everything is a reflection from within, and the world that we live in is created from the inside out, not the outside in, we have to remember that we have the power, and our life is created from us, right? Everything that's happening in our life is because we're allowing these things to happen. So whenever you want to have change in your immediate environment, or even in the world, it's the same thing, it's the same law. You've got to take your power back and say no, or say yes, or create the things that you want. So the message that I want to get across to you guys today is to realize that the universe is always trying to teach you something about your psychology if you're open enough to receive it and to see it. And the reason why the agenda is speeding up so much on the planet in the last few years is because the souls that are being born right now and in the last 30 years and maybe even longer, empaths have been around for a long time, but more people are getting more and more sensitive right now. And I don't believe it's just because of the chemicals and the shit in the water. And I think that is actually just a reflection trying to show us, to learn more, make us learn more about our own sensitivity, because your sensitivity is your guidance system. And this is a blessing, because many people, they don't have that. And many people have become so desensitized because they've become so traumatized by life that they shut their feelings off. And that's a scary place to be. That's what I call no man's land, if you can't feel, if you're just numb to life and you don't, because now you're shutting yourself off, you're shutting your gift off, your umbilical cord to the source. The stream of information that comes through you, you're a person too. We listen to all these gurus and mentors and things, but I want to hear what you've got to say, right? And you want to hear what you've got to say. There's something coming up inside of you, and it's up to you to make the big decisions in your life, to let love guide you and not fear, right? So don't shut yourself off because of external pressures from people in your environment, or anything you see in the government, you think maybe that there's no hope because people are still so asleep. How are we ever going to change things? And what you do right there is you sell yourself. You're selling yourself short, and you're going back into the comfort zone. Not the comfort zone, your comfort zone. Because that's what this is all about, guys. Everyone has their own comfort zone. You know, I used to be scared of traveling on my own. You know, I was scared to come out here and get on a plane on my own, but I had to face it. That was my fear. That was something that I felt I needed to do. Now I feel like I can get on a plane anywhere. The point is, when, you know, some people wouldn't be afraid of aeroplanes and going on their own, you know, but that was an individual thing for me. So realize the lesson that you're being taught, and recognize that your intuition, your feelings, and, you know, they're trying to guide you. You know, so you've got to learn to find a good flow with these things. You know, when you keep finding toxic energy everywhere, then you've got to step back and analyze the situation. Because I'm telling you, when you step out of that chaos and you start to, you know, go with what you know to be true, then miracles and blessings are what follow after that in that process. I know it's easy for me to come out here and say, because I'm just speaking to a camera, but this is coming from my own experience. That's how I've learned these lessons. It's not just something that I've read in a book, right? I've actually been through these things. That's why I'm out here sharing with you, these things with you. And this is one of the hardest things that you can do, guys. One of the hardest things is when you first take that step into listening to yourself rather than all the noise around you. Everyone's got a plan, an idea for your life, and this is what overcomes all the brainwashing in your life. This is when you start to take your power back, when you recognize the lesson that you're being taught, and to start listening to your feelings more often. Start to align your heart and your mind together, because the mind is like the control panel. It's like the brain, is how I see it, right? The brain is like the control panel, obviously. It's like the operation center. You've got the little joystick in there. But then the heart is just power. It's just, it's the generative principle, right? It's power. It's the will. You know, everyone says you got the heart of a champion. You didn't have enough heart to fight it. Heartless, or, you know, there's so many different things that you can say. We always refer to the heart because it's 5,000 times more powerful electromagnetically than the brain. But if you can align your heart, which is the willpower, with your brain, which is the control panel, and you put your brain into truth and the truth of who you are, and you start to live your truth, you might find sticky situations, but all this is the old you breaking down, making way for a new you. So when you upgrade yourself, you have to allow what falls away to fall away, and you have to allow yourself to evolve. As long as you're evolving, you're on the right path. You know, so align your actions with what you care about and the truth of your being, and that's when we're rocking and rolling. That's when you become a warrior amongst men. Anyway, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video on empaths. Are you an empath? Let me know. Let me know what you're going through. Does this message resonate? Also, I've been uploading new videos to my Patreon. I'm starting sharing my workouts with you guys also now. The link to my Patreon and all my services is in the link in the description box below this video. And we'll see what's next for Warriors Amongst Men. But what I do know, and what all empaths know, is that change is on the horizon, and change is the only constant in life. So let's not fear change. Let go of what no longer serves you. Let go of the fear, the guilt, the shame, the grudges, the denial, the illusions, the attachments, and be the fucking warrior that you came here to be. That's basically what I wanted to tell you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, my friends. Yeah, if you want to work with me one-to-one, get in touch, and I look forward to speaking with you all in the comment section. Peace and love, my friends. Thank you again.